Hello there! If you're new here, hello! My name is Viv, also Cutie Pie Viv, and I have been doing conventions for about 1.5 years, and as of last year, I've been doing my art business full-time. Also, yes, I am using a spatula because I don't have anything else and I don't want to clip it right here, because whenever I do that for some reason, it always sounds terrible. But it still may sound terrible now, but we're just gonna work with what we've got. And today I want to talk about basically the entire process of how to apply for conventions or markets, artist alleys, Comic-Con, things like that. I'm not going to exclude it just to anime conventions, although that is usually the niche that I lean more towards. I will be focusing on basically all the requirements that are needed to apply for any type of event. And I'm gonna stop you right there. You might be saying, hey, wait, but I just started and I don't think I'm ready to apply for events. Doesn't matter. Treat it like a job application. You just gotta keep applying because then you might get lucky. And like job applications, sometimes it's really hard to get into these events, so you might as well start applying now to get used to it. I think the best place to start is what exactly you need, like what info you need for an application. These already seem kind of obvious, but you might as well get it off your checklist. So these might sound simple, but they're all important. You have to have your legal first name, last name, also the name that your business is going to be running under. Not every event is going to ask for this during the application process. Like, you're still going to need it to sell. Some events may ask you for your UBI number or your seller's permit. If you're a little confused on how to even apply for one, let me know down below because it was a little bit of a process for me. But most websites will have a number that you can call. Customer support can go step by step with you, and that's basically what I do every time I have to file my taxes. Next, they might ask for a link for like your social media account that has all your art posted, or portfolio, or even your website. If you don't have an online portfolio, you can basically just create a file for them to be able to see all of your art images, and you can share that through a link, or they might have an option for you to be able to insert a file there. They're also going to be asking you what type of products you sell, so you could just give a list of all the items that you've already made or items that will be done by the time of the event. This one might be hard if you're just starting out, but a lot of times they're going to ask you for your booth layout, like a picture of it. And obviously, because I attend events now, I will just take a picture of my most recent one and then I will submit it in my next application. But of course, if you're just starting out and you're applying for events so you don't have any of those images yet, you can set it up at home if you have all the materials already for your booth. Or a last resort could be a really detailed sketch of how your booth would look when it's going to be in the artist alley or wherever you're applying to. Sometimes they'll ask you for your price range so they can see if you have a range of different items, such as like $5 stickers to $35 plushies, and you would just write down all the items that you have there. At times you can also get a half booth, so 4 feet or 3 feet instead of 6 feet. The most common way that this is done is sharing a booth with another artist. You both still need to apply for that event, but once accepted, then you can split that table in half and then save on costs. There are some rare occasions though, such as like markets or stationary events, where you can buy a half table, but that just means that the person next to you will be another person that also applied for a half table and you might not know who they are. I've only seen this in like 1 or 2 applications that I've applied for, but I mean, it doesn't hurt as an option for people that don't have that much stuff yet or are trying to save on money and not pay for like a $500 booth. Lastly, they're gonna ask what category you fall into. So a lot of times that could be like traditional media, handcrafted, crochet, anime leaning, or just completely original art, etc. And depending on the event, sometimes they will require a certain percentage anime or comic merch. That way it still fits into the type of niche that they're presenting their event as. That was a mouthful. I didn't realize how long that would take to just talk about all of that. Seems like only a few minutes on here, but I had to keep thinking behind the scenes to be like, am I missing anything? But let's go on to the next one. Okay, here's the fun and also confusing part. Now you might be like, well, great, I have all my info, but I don't know what type of event I should apply for. This obviously can be trial and error, but to kind of help narrow down and just not waste your time applying to all these different type of like genres of events, I usually go based off of one, what exactly are you selling? Are you selling a bunch of comic merch? Maybe perhaps a lot of original art? Maybe you draw just a bunch of vegetables. If you do, You could start with farmers markets. My stuff wouldn't work at farmers markets. Like, I can still apply to them, but I know that my sales wouldn't be really good just because of the fact that the demographic might not be exactly looking for Bluey stickers or just anime merch. But if you have crochet items, like traditional art, again, like if you only draw vegetables, or you can find a niche that fits into that like cozy farmers market type of vibe, you can definitely apply to those. Obviously, with anime events, usually has to do with anime merch. However, I've noticed a lot of like cutesy artists do really well there, like mine for example. And that's not to discourage or say like if you make traditional art or more like comic-esque type of art that you can't apply to those places, because there's a thing for everyone there. It's just more so you don't waste your time going to an event that you think you're gonna do really well at and be like, oh, this isn't exactly my demographic. There's also stationery events. If you love making washi tape, stickers, then you should definitely apply to those places because stationery girlies go crazy. As one, I totally understand. And I will spend buckets on memo pads and sticker sheets to put in my junk journal. It looks so dull outside, but it is so hot right now. And I feel like there's fires everywhere right now. You can also apply to foodie events. These will usually bring in a big crowd because they want to try all the different types of foods, especially like 626 Night Market, Foodie Land. I will just say with those, I've noticed depending on the place that a lot of times the demographic will be like, $4 or $5 for a sticker, like I've already spent all my money on food. Or they just won't be as aware of like the etiquette of looking at artist stuff. A lot of people put down their margarita or like their really large like Bear baby bottles on my stuff and be like, oh, what's all of this? And then leave with like a giant wet stain. And again, that's not to say everyone is like that, but I've usually only seen those kind of customers at foodie events. I've noticed a lot of Comic-Con and anime events are more mindful and just respectful of the artists because they know exactly the type of environment they're going into. The last one I can think of, which is usually on the easier side of applying, is your local markets or events. I know in Portland where I live, there's a lot of like Asian American like food and art events. The vibes there are always really nice. I love applying to those events because I'll see like returning people in my community and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? So those are really fun if you want to connect with like a certain community. I'm sweating. This looks like I'm glowing, but I'm actually sweating. Okay, let's talk about when you need to apply. Depending on the event, but I will say a lot of comic or anime conventions, especially the ones that are like at least 20 to 50,000 in attendees, are gonna ask you to apply like 5 to 6 months in advance. Like yesterday, I already applied to an event in January and it's only July. And because of this, you might be like, oh, I finally feel like I'm ready for events. Let's see what's happening next month. And you'll be on the wait list because they're already all closed out. Because of this, it can be kind of stressful just being on edge with like, oh, when are events open? Did they already close already? But something that really helps me, and a lot of artists do this, so I highly recommend, like I feel like you won't be consistent in events unless you do this, is to have a spreadsheet of all the events that you want to attend and what dates the applications open and what dates the events actually start. The confusing part is that sometimes events won't say when their applications are opening until like a week before. So something that could help with being able to find out when these events will be opening up for artists is either joining their newsletter, their Instagram, or checking their website, and it will say, oh, open in spring 2027, and you just have to keep an eye out during those months. Something I really like to do too is join a community such as like Discord. If you've forgotten about an event, an artist will be like, hey, this is opening tomorrow if anyone's in Texas, etc. And that will just help as like an extra buffer to not like miss anything. Speaking of which, I do have a Discord if you want to join. I will have the link down below, and it's also on my Instagram. I'm opening applications again. I am not strict about like, oh, you have to like respond this many times a week, or you have to be like this type of art style. It's for everyone. It's for beginners to like experts. I really don't care because we're all just struggling and we need reminders in community. So if you want that, my link's down there. Okay, I believe there's like 3 main ways that events go about with choosing their artists. So there's a lot of times that it's lottery. They will just have a bunch of artists apply, it'll go through a machine or whatever they do, and then it'll pick randomly. There are pros and cons with that because if AI trash applies and they get accepted, you're gonna be seeing that stuff there. However, there are events that will jury and then do a lottery after, and I feel that is a little more secure than just straight out a lottery. There's also the really stressful one of first come, first serve. They'll be like, oh, December 5, like 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, our applications will open until there's no more spaces. Then the entire browser gets jammed with over 1,000 artists or more trying to apply and get a spot. Again, this also means AI slop can get in the mix. And I feel it just makes it so much more stressful of just being able to get into that event. Like, it sounds easier, but literally when I was trying to apply for Anime Los Angeles, and I still haven't gotten in because it's just so hard to just even get in their website during that time. But like, it gets so jammed. By the time you start putting in your credit card info, you're like, oh, you got kicked out because someone already got the spot. So that is also another way that applications will be accepted. I think the final one is just a juried system where there won't be a lottery or there won't be first come first serve. It'll just be juried by jurors, and then they will choose what will be accepted and what will not be accepted. I feel every single one has their pros and cons, such as like jurors might be biased or lottery might be unfair because of AI stuff. But again, like, these are all the different ways that your application will be filtered through these events. At least now you're aware of how that goes. Now let's increase those chances of getting accepted. Now this is not a magic trick of like, oh, if you do this, then you're gonna have an easier time. No, it's not. Everyone gets treated the same way, or so we would like to believe. But something that can help you with the competition is making sure that your photos look aesthetically nice and are good photo quality. You don't want some very pixely JPEG picture. Like, that's obviously gonna get flagged and probably not accepted. Another thing is, does my booth look organized when they ask for a booth picture? Is it like halfway done? You know, just these are very basic things, but you know, sometimes you forget, which is why I'm saying this. Obviously, don't have a lot of grammatical errors, and just make sure all the info you're putting in is correct, because for example, if they ask for a UBI number and that is required and you miss one of those numbers and get it wrong, then you completely just miss your shot. I feel my art style is always inconsistent, but something that helps jurors kind of figure out where they would place you in that event is just having a more consistent art style or even color palette. So they'll be like, oh, okay, this person has some type of branding. It's not just like all over the place. Cool, it seems orderly. I might accept them. And that's not to say you can have all like different types of art form. It just kind of helps the person looking at your stuff be like, okay, this stuff would be recognizable. Someone were to come to the booth, they'll be like, okay, I understand what type of vibe they're trying to give off. Now for the greatest advice of all, do not fear rejection. Even the greatest artists that we look up to will face rejection, and that's just pure proof that you even like put your foot out there and tried to apply. This is also like practice, right? So let's say you're not ready to apply for events yet because you feel your art style isn't as distinguished as you wanted, etc., or your booth is not made up. Still apply to those events anyway, because then you can look back and be like, okay, why do I think my application didn't get accepted? Was it the pictures, the way I wrote about my description of my booth? Just use that as a way to be able to look back on what you've submitted and if there was anything you would change. And that's not to be like putting you in a spiral of like, oh, I should have done something different. Oh, I should have done this. Like, I feel like 90% of the time it is out of our power whether we get accepted or not. but at least you can look back and try to learn from what you submitted and if you could do anything differently. Like, every application is practice, and every acceptance and like event you get into is experience. Just try to take all of that as a way of learning rather than feeling like you were, I don't know, like that they don't like your art or something like that, because it's not that at all. We all love art. We're artists. Just use this as a way to refine your, it's like a resume. It's like a job application. You're not gonna like get one rejection from a job and be like, oh, I'm never gonna get a job. I'm never gonna get money. Try to think of that in the same light, at least when you're starting out. I know it can be hard, because as much as I want to say like, oh, it's your business and like, you know, don't take it personally, art is still connected to us, because a lot of times we start art as a coping mechanism or just a way of reflecting on who we are and how we feel inside. So of course it's going to feel a little personal, but again, it's just an application. And it's gonna take a lot of no's before you get a yes, or who knows, maybe you'll be lucky. That's why you got to apply. Okay, I think that's all I got. I hope this format wasn't too weird. I am not used to doing, because I feel like that's the easiest, with just a bunch of like B-rolls and me yapping about random stuff and like slowly getting tired during an event. If you like this type of format, let me know like what else you want me to talk about, or what else you want me to help with, especially if like you're beginning. I know I've only started, but I feel like I've learned so much, and just because of that I want to share that with everyone, because it is possible. Like, you don't need to be in the artist alley for like years and years to get in. Like, I just applied to Anime Expo like last year and I got in. Like, I didn't think I was gonna get in. I wasn't gonna even apply, but I did it because there's always that small chance, and guess what? I got in. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. I want to make more like this besides vlogs. I just want to help other artists. I feel like there's more info now compared to years before, when it's harder to like find information on how to do this stuff, but there's still some things that are just hard to find. Like, I didn't manage to find a video that was talking about the actual like process of the application, so I was like, I mean, might as well. Yeah, that is all I have. I'm gonna start editing this video and wipe my forehead because I keep sweating. I almost forgot. I also have a bunch of carousels on my Instagram that basically show the experience I've had at events, what it's like to run a small art business, or just teach others like how to make stickers. Again, how to apply for events, what to do if you get accepted, how long to prepare, like how to find manufacturers. So if you also want to see those, my Instagram link is down below. Okay, I'm going to end it. Thank you for watching. Bye!